tell the viewers something about you that most people don't know. Like, not a secret per se, but like,
Yeah. Let's see what most people don't know. I have a weird fear of balloons.
of what?
Balloons. Like,
What?
yes.
I have heard it all. The other lady yesterday, I think my guest yesterday was afraid of spiders. And then you are
Yeah.
balloons. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. That is cray cray. I don't even want to ask you to tell us more because I think something tells me that there's a huge story behind that.
Yes,
Welcome,
there
please,
is.
anyway. Oh my goodness. Okay, can you tell us in like 30 seconds the story behind the balloons?
Yes. Yeah. Can I cuss real quick?
Oh no, honey, listen, this is adult, grown.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah,
I
honey.
like to be
My
respectful of
show
people's space.
is rated whatever letter you want to put on the alphabet. Because I talk about deep, painful stuff, I cannot
Yeah. Yeah.
not, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I always want to be respectful of the
No,
space.
no,
So
thank
anyway,
you.
long story short, I have 3 older brothers. I'm the baby. My brothers are assholes, and like they would pop balloons. It just scared me. And so, yeah, that's where my fear of balloons. Like if I'm around a place where there's too many balloons, I'm like, these balloons are gonna pop and like scare the shit out of me. And
Well, let me tell you something. My soon-to-be ex-wife
yeah,
lived through a war in Liberia.
yeah,
And so 4th of July doesn't work out for her.
yeah, mm-hmm,
It's not
mm-hmm,
happening.
yeah,
She's not going downtown for
of
nobody's
course,
mama.
yeah,
She's
yeah,
not doing it. So yeah, I'm in the same thing. Those little popping things
yeah. The
that they put.
poppers,
I
yeah,
love it, but
yeah,
no, she can't handle it.
yeah.
So well, guess what? We're getting divorced. So I guess
You can have all the poppers and fireworks you want now. Yes,
yes, I love her to pieces. I'm always gonna love her. She's a beautiful
yeah,
person. We
yeah.
actually parted as friends, which I never
That's good.
thought I could do. It took a lot
Yeah,
of thought work and
yeah.
a lot of, I don't even know if I'm over it yet. Of course, I mean, it just happened this year. She just filed for divorce 2 days ago. But
Oh my goodness.
but yeah. Well, we've been separated since January, but she just called and said, "Well, I wanted to tell you that it's official. I filed for divorce," and I was like, "Okay." Now, the old me,
Yeah,
ooh, the old me would have been like, "I can't believe you're doing this. Can we please
yeah,
try?" But I'm just like, you know what? Sometimes it's just best to just go your separate ways. But
yeah.
this show
That's
is not
growth right
about
there.
me. Go ahead. What were you saying? Sorry.
I said that's growth right there.
Yes, but this show is not about me or my soon-to-be ex. It's about you, my darling. So we're going to get started. So you've told us the one thing that most people don't know about you, which is hilarious, okay? You don't like balloons. So I'm going to keep my grandchildren away from you because if they're like their grandmother, they're going to like balloons. Okay? And then the second question is, why did you decide to do this thing? What made you say yes, or rather hearken to my call, if I may use that phrase?
Yeah, so I am an ally and I work in private practice. I am a sex therapist, and the population, the population that I mainly work with is LGBTQ folks, particularly Black folks. Yes, go, Dr. Lulu. Yes,
Where were
yes,
you?
ma'am.
Where were you? Where were you? Where were you? When I needed you.
I was
When my
here. Where
relationship,
were you?
my two
Where were you?
relationships needed you, honey. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep your information because
Mm-hmm.
I'm also doing an extension of these into
Yeah,
my private Facebook group. We're going to do the first one today. It's called dinner date night, or parent date night, and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
intimate conversations
Intimate.
with
Yes,
queers and allies. Okay.
yes. Here
Oh my
for it.
God.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Intimate conversations with
Love
queers
it.
and allies. And I know some of the
Yes.
parents there, everybody, when you think about same sex, well, my son said, my young adult human child said
Yeah.
same gender.
Sure.
He
Yeah.
said
Same gender
same
loving.
gender. So I'm going to go with same gender. So same gender relationships. the first thing you think about is sex. But truly, like a friend asked me, and said, so y'all like go through divorce. I said, listen, if you take out our genitals, we're just
Yeah,
regular people. So
exactly.
it's silly for me to say that, oh, do heterosexuals go through divorce? Do people go through divorce?
Exactly. Yeah, all the time, all the time. And yeah, that
Oh,
is
wow.
that has kind of been like my big kind of like soapbox, because when people are asking like how do they talk about like being gay or being queer to their kids, like that is like the first thing that they automatically go to, like we sexualize the
That part.
LGBTQ, but we don't
That
allow them
part.
to be sexual. So like they are over sexualized and not allowed to be sexual at the same time. And I have a male identified human child. What I like to encourage parents to do is like stop assuming sexual orientation. Like if we could just stop assuming what our kids' sexual orientation is and just allow for them to be who they are, love who they are, love who they want, and just allow them to grow into happy, healthy human beings and productive members of society, then, you know, how much awesome and like how much more like dope would the world be? Like if we
Would the
would just,
world be?
yes, if we would just stop assuming sexuality, like stop sexualizing the LGBTQ community, because yeah, like you're saying, like you're a person just like me, and like you go through relationship shit just like I do in my heterosexual relationship. So it's just like, yeah, everything is not about sex.
Not about sex. I think we're going to get along. I love the fact that you say shit. I say bullshit all the time. First
Oh,
of all, I
fuck
was
is
a
my
commander.
favorite word.
I was a commander in the U.S. Air Force, and I said bullshit all the time. Okay, I
Yes.
have no nothing. That's one. And number two, I
Yeah.
love your heart. So I am making it official. I am inviting you to be my second guest for next Friday. Today is our first one ever. For
Yeah.
next Friday on my intimate conversations with queers and allies in my
Yeah.
Facebook group, because this is one thing that I know a lot of parents have questions about. So
Mm-hmm.
this is already so good, so good, so good. So the next question that I had is, and I know it may not pertain to you because you're technically not in the queer space, but I do want to ask you, since you work with queer people, what is the role, if any at all, that their acceptance by the community has had on them, if
Yeah. So
any at all?
yeah. So do you mean like by the broader community, or like the
Yes, by the broader,
okay.
yes, yeah, by the broader community. Yeah. But actually, as you know, there's also some
Yeah,
degree of
different. Yeah.
homophobia even within the queer community, which is crazy,
Yes.
but true. Transphobia, especially.
Yeah, that's why I was looking for clarification. But no,
Yeah.
I can definitely say with the people that I work with, like acceptance within the broader community is like a game changer. I've gone from seeing folks being like super depressed and not, you know, like on the brink of suicide, and you know, just knowing that there are people out there, like especially a cis heterosexual person that loves them and accepts them and, you know, affirms them, because I do work with mostly queer Black people, and I always tell my clients, like, not only do I affirm your Blackness, I affirm your queerness. And in the Black community, we don't get too many providers, we don't get too many people on the daily that are affirming our
Affirming.
people. Yes, and not just
Affirming.
friendly, because there's a fucking
And you know,
difference
it's
between
funny you
being
said that.
friendly
Yes,
and
it's funny you're
affirming.
saying that. Welcome to the party, Amaya, Lewis, Amaya. I always call them Amaya, but Lewis.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I am the one, like seriously speaking, I'm the one Black female physician, mother of a non-binary young adult human in the
Yeah.
space of life coaching of parents of queer kids in the universe. 10 things.
Oh, wow.
Me.
Wow.
Just me. Like
Wow.
literally just me.
Wow.
So my coach was sorry about that. So my coach was telling me, they were like, oh my goodness, we need to clone you. Oh my goodness, you're going to be making so much money. Oh my goodness, the world needs you. And I'm like, amen to that. But then
Yeah.
someone else said, but why should you be the only one? Why has it taken
Exactly.
2021 for the
Mm-hmm.
me's out there to even like rear our heads? And so 2 days ago, 3 days ago, 4 days ago, I made the announcement that I'm going to be quitting medicine because I'll be
Mm-hmm.
30 years old as a physician.
Yeah.
You know, black don't crack. Yeah.
Of course. I know
So
you look good, girl.
I know, girl, honey. I am
I want to be
52
like
years.
you when I grow up.
I am 52 years young, honey bunches. So
Yes, ma'am.
I am going to be walking away from medicine because it's time. And I'm still going to be helping people. And then today I wrote that I'm going to be going from being a pediatrician to a parentrician, you
Yeah.
know?
Mhm. And like
You know?
it's needed in like our community. And I speak a lot to the black experience because it's my experience. It's the only experience that I know. But like, yeah, especially in the black community, like there's so much like homophobia and
Yeah.
transphobia and, you know, being accepted, well, not accepted in your own community. And then, like you said, there's a lot of like racism in the LGBTQ community. There's a lot of transphobia in the
Yes.
LGBTQ community. So
Yes.
like not being accepted at like any part of your identities, like I imagine like that has to be like rough and
Yes.
lonely and
Yes.
isolating. And so I'm here for my clients to be like, I am that space. I am that affirming space. Like, I see you as a black person. I see you as a queer person. Like, I see you. I accept you. Like, I am here for you. Like, whatever you need in the space that we are together, like, I'm here. So
I love it. That is music to my ears. So if you're watching me, if you can hear my voice, I'm going to reset the room. The space is called The Pride Corner. The show, rather, is called The Pride Corner. With me, your host, our coming out stories and more. And today we have a more. Today we have a more. We've had two moms, and we've had a bunch of queer people. But you're like my first real true ally. Chizelue is another. So I'm excited for when they're going to come on the show. But you know, that's what I'm doing. I'm magnifying, like, oh, I'm gonna swing. You know, like I want people to know that we are here. We're not going anywhere, and you can love us or leave us, but we're not going anywhere. And so I figured acceptance is what I'm gonna sit on that platform, because I know, as you almost literally confirmed, you said acceptance. I think you said makes a whole lot of it. I forgot the exact phrase you used. What was the phrase you used?
You know what? I forgot because you've been so excited. No, it makes a world of difference.
That's what you said. Yes, you said acceptance makes a world of difference. Yes, it does. It does. So thank you so much for coming into the space and sharing with us. So tell us a little bit more about the clients that you work with. Have you had any? And I'm so interested in what you do, because I have one doctor friend who is a sex therapist. She's a doctor, so she's a sex relationship sex coach.
She'd be like
something.
a sexologist.
Yeah, something like that. But so is that what you are?
So I'm a licensed professional counselor in the state of Texas, and I have a I'm in the South.
I live in Texas.
In the South. Oh, yay!
I live in North Mexico, aka San Antonio.
I live in Dallas. But yeah, so it's a certification through AASECT, and that is the American Academy of Sex Educators, Counselors, and Therapists. And so I received that certification. I'm also training to be a somatic sex educator, so I can start to incorporate body work into my practice. And so, yeah, the type of folks that I usually see, because I specifically advertise as like an LGBTQ affirming therapist, is like I said, I get a lot of queer folks, so a lot of queer couples, a lot of queer folks dealing with sexual health issues, a lot of like cisgendered women, a lot of non-binary women, a lot of trans women, just anyone who is struggling with any aspect of their sexuality. So that could be like sexual orientation, sexual expression, like physical sexual stuff. I do a lot of gender care therapy, so helping folks transition. I think I'm one of like the only like Black providers in Dallas. I could be wrong. Don't come at me, Instagram.
I'm
if that's
hugging
not
you.
True.
You know what though? Even if that's not true, if you only know yourself, Listen, when I
Yeah.
was a pediatrician, I knew a bunch of pediatricians.
Yeah.
Today, as a parent life coach, I don't
Yeah.
know any other parent life coaches that focus on parents of queer kids who just came out. Like my
Yeah.
niche is so needle point,
Yeah.
just like you.
Yeah.
So you know
Yeah.
what? We should actually give each other clients and whatnot because this is so
Yeah. Yeah. Of
powerful.
course.
So if you can
Yeah.
hear my voice, I want you to please follow me, follow my guest. My guest is what's your
Aydrelle. My
what's
guest
the
name.
name again?
My
No, I need is it AY girl
Yeah.
76. Okay.
Hmm.
AY girl 76
Yes.
on Instagram. But you're gonna tell us all of that in a minute, but just
Yeah.
follow her. And then also someone who is watching me, please send her flowers. I've started learning how to do that from learning it on Clubhouse. Just send her flowers because I really truly think that what you're doing is so amazing. AHMAYZEEN. That's how I spell amazing, baby, because I can.
Yes.
You can tell me nothing about it. I made that word up. So yeah. So tell me, how do you, yeah, you're getting a lot of love. That's great. I wanted flowers, y'all. I wanted flowers, but I'll take the love. But how do you find your clients with regards to how, when they come to you, what do you do? First of all, how did they hear about you? How did they
Mhm.
find you? And then what is the process? Because that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Magnify your voices. If you don't have a coming out story to tell, then tell us about your work and how you do your work.
Yeah.
Because I know that somebody watching this is going to be touched today.
Yeah. Yeah. So my clients mainly find me on Psychology Today, therapy for Black girls, therapy for Black men, and actually word of mouth, like because the Black, well, it's not small, but it feels small, but I know it's not small. But it's like one of my clients tells their friends that they're in therapy and to come and see me, and like it's word of mouth, and especially with my trans clients because I know that I am like one of the only few providers that don't make people come to like 50 billion sessions to get a gender confirmation letter because I feel like that is bullshit. And like, who am I to tell someone what feels right for their body and, what they need for their body? So like, I usually, if I can't get the letter in one session, 2 sessions is the most. And so when I started writing my gender confirmation letters for folks, when I started writing my HRT letters for folks, like word just got out that like this person is affirming and like I'm thorough, and I make sure that my clients get what they need for themselves. So yeah.
That is amazing. Oh my God. I'm so happy to hear this. Do you only see clients in the state of Texas, or do you have any other license? Because in my little group that is growing at the speed of light, I know someone is going to ask a question soon. So if you don't mind, and this is an open invitation to you for allies and parents of queer kids, you could probably come there and just fish all you want. Because
Yeah.
I know that this is a service that is highly needed. And I know with all the crazy political bullshit that's going on now about trans lives and trans
Yeah. Yeah.
rights. I mean, it makes
Yeah.
no sense. So the more we get people like you who are literally not going to make you come 67th, and let's check with your grandmother. Let's call your
Yeah.
dead auntie to see if
Yeah.
all of that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll get to your question before I say this, but like most of like the depression and like the suicidal ideation that like holds people up from getting gender confirmation is because they fucking need a gender confirmation surgery. That's why they are depressed and
Can you
like
stop
having
there?
suicidal thoughts.
You
Yeah.
have to stop there. Let me tell you why you have to stop. I tell people all the time, my TEDx talk
Yeah.
was ostracized by TED because I said on my TEDx talk that I believe till I die that
Yeah.
a child who jumps does not need medication.
Yeah.
They need affirmation from their parents. They need their friends to stop bullying them. They need
Yeah.
us to stop traumatizing them. It is all about
Exactly.
trauma, unrecognized
Yeah.
trauma. You can tell me what you like. I don't care. I say that more even sometimes to myself to remind me to stay strong. Because one time I put a post about it, everybody came, oh my God, what do you mean? Is it anecdotal? I said, anecdotal, my foot. A child who was fine last week when he was 6 months old, last month when they were 6 years old, all of a sudden at the age of 16, they want to jump, and you are more worried about the dose of antidepressants or the class of antidepressants. Have you asked them about their trauma history? Have you done an ACE evaluation? Have you looked at their ACE score?
Yeah. And there is a lot of trauma, you know, from my experience. Like, there's trauma being not only a Black person in America, but a queer Black person in America. Like, that is like a double of trauma. And and that is all the more reason why we need more therapists, more clinicians that look like us, and like we don't like I am proof. And then our understanding of the communities and the populations that you serve. And that's what I was saying. Like, there's a difference between, in my opinion, being a friendly therapist and an affirming therapist. And I think like the affirming part goes like so much deeper than being like just queer friendly, you know? So it's all important.
I love you so much. There's a difference between a friendly and an affirming. Because a lot of times what I see is, I have three, I call them tres hijos, mis tres hijos. Tengo tres hijos. Y ellos están negros. Yeah? So, mis tres hijos están negros. Hey, Lulu, come on. Mis tres hijos están negros. My 3 sons are Black. Okay? So, ellos tienen muchísimas problemas aquí en América, en Estados Unidos, already just for being Black, okay? Just for being Black. And then you turn and then include male, and then include non-binary or whatever other thing. Black is already a death sentence, okay?
Exactly.
So I love what you do. Like, seriously, we need to clone you and I and just make it happen.
Or we just need to train more therapists. And like, for my Black therapists, like, please, like, be LGBTQ affirming.
They're too busy.
And
Wait, they're too busy praying, and they're too busy being jaded by religion. That's why we don't have enough people like you, because they're like, well, but God said what? If
my God wants me to love people.
Okay. If God truly is omnipotent, everything, omni-knowledge, then they already know, because as far as I'm concerned, God is non-binary. God is non-binary, so they already know that your child is perfect. But the rest of us who are like all about, you know, please, I see that every single day on this show.
And like, it's hurting our community, and like,
boom, that's right.
You know, you can't like scream like Black Lives Matter and like forget that section, because their Black Lives Matter too. And like, our liberation is tied to each other. So, and I think that is why this work is so passionate for me, is like, I can't fight for my liberation without fighting for someone else's liberation. And like, oppression is oppression. And, you know, I have privilege. It's not white privilege, but I have privilege as a cisgendered, heterosexual, educated woman. I have privilege, and like, I don't know, I just feel like it is on me to use my privilege and to help liberate. And like, I'm not going to contribute to my fellow brother and sister's oppression. Like, come on now, where they do that at? So
your kids are so lucky to have you as a mother. I'm just enamored by you. Like, this is so amazing. So I'm going to reset the room real quick. Welcome, Olamide ENG, or NG rather. The show is called The Pride Corner by me, Dr. Lulu. We're discussing our coming out stories and more. And yes, it is for queer people and allies. If you are a homophobe and you can hear my voice, that is the door right there.
Yes.
Go on now. Yeah. Go on now. Because you ain't welcome here. Okay?
Exactly.
That's the Pride Corner right there. The Pride Corner between the door and the wall. And I'm always trying to do that. And that's me and my baby son. Not the one in question, but that's the last of the Mohicans. So my name is Dr. Lulu, and that's Black Mary and Black Jesus, because we're Black and we're queer in our family.
Yes.
And the other day I had a flag. I don't know where I kept it. I had a flag, and I was going around everywhere with my flag. But yeah, so we're talking to, what's your first name, sis? I need to say your first name.
Yes, it is Aydrelle.
Aydrelle. So we're talking to Aydrelle today, a licensed clinical
Professional counselor.
all of those beautiful words put together, who is also Black and cisgendered woman who's just, her work is almost exclusively with queer people when it comes to relationships, not just sex. Y'all, clear your minds already, okay? We have regular fights like everybody else. We go to bed angry with each other like everybody else.
Yes.
We are jealous like everybody else. We are gangsters
Yes.
like everybody else. Like we are regular people. So stop
Yes.
thinking about gay. All you think about is the bedroom. Because when I see you, I'm
Exactly.
not thinking, oh, there's my heterosexual neighbor.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Gosh, gay people don't want you. If you're straight and you're hearing my voice, gay
Oh,
people
there you
do
are.
not
You're so
want your
great.
ass.
Yeah,
You know?
there's my straight neighbor. Hi, straight neighbor. What?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
and you are getting some love here from Louis, who is an attorney, saying that I can't fight for my liberation without fighting for someone else's liberation. Powerful quote. As you can tell, they're an attorney, so you can tell that their ears are tuning to the equality words that,
Yes.
go that way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fantastic. So we're going to go on to we're kind of on the second half of the show. The show is called The Pride Corner, Our Coming Out Stories and More. We're talking to a More today, and she just happens to be someone who is just really, truly resonating with all of my thought processes. You're getting a lot of love also. So if you can hear my voice, take a moment, type that arrow at the bottom of your screen and invite at least 10 of your friends so that more people can see this. And then, of course, tell them about the show. It's every single day at 1 p.m. Central. I decided that since I'm home, I'm going to doll myself up and I'm just going to show up. And I might as well wear all my nice dresses that I haven't worn, since the pandemic would have let us.
I know. We got to be great this summer.
And so let's go to, so we're on the home stretch now. So what do you have to say, or what are your words of wisdom to, first of all, a child who finds themselves in a non-affirming home? And I ask everyone the same question, okay? In a non-affirming, non-accepting home,
Yeah.
what would you say to the child at this point, first of all? Or young adult, Lulu.
Yeah.
Lulu. Get up, boy.
Well, first, I would tell them that regardless of what anybody tells you, anyone says to you, like, nothing is wrong with you. It is them. There is nothing wrong with you. You are not broken. You are perfect. You are beautiful just the way you are. And nothing is wrong with you. And also, when you get older, start to find your community. Start to find the people around you who are going to affirm you, who are going to love you, and who are going to accept you for the beautiful, special human being that you are. And because we do exist. We do exist. We are out here. And we are waiting for you to come into the world and to come and grace us with you. So, yeah, that would be like my message is that, fuck everyone that
message. I love that. I love that message. And the part that hit me is the part that just know that you are. And then when you get older, know that you will find your tribe. My child actually said that to me a few days ago, when I was literally castigated that night for not necessarily being the ideal mother. I hope you don't see me and see, oh, she got it all together. No, I was not the ideal mother. I was a Catholic. I was raised Catholic. Even though I knew they were gay at the age of 2, I was raised Catholic, and even though I had come out to my dad at 16, I still wasn't the parent that I could have, would have, should have been.
Yeah.
Considering the fact that they had a single parent because I divorced from their dad. So please don't look at me necessarily or my past, but also in that same vein, I have had to sit with that and then let go and move on, because
Yeah.
I'm not going to shackle myself to the past too much more, because I got to move on. So, but I did hear what you say, when you get older, you will find your tribe. Here's why I say that, because I do the daily queer parenting tips and on my TikTok. And yesterday I said to the parents, I said, look, your child was born gay, first of all, or
Yes.
queer. Secondly, if your child doesn't come out to you until they go off to college, they didn't become queer in college.
Yeah.
No, they became comfortable to come out to
Yeah.
people who are affirming to them in college. Because enough
Yeah.
parents say, well, I didn't raise no fag. I didn't raise no fag. You know, and they went to school and then they became gay. No, baby.
It's not a sorority or fraternity. Like, yes, I love talking to parents about, like, please watch your mouth. And like, I tell that to people who are around me and my kid. Like, my kid hasn't, I don't know what his sexual orientation is going to be, but I always tell people to watch your mouth. Like, parents, especially, like, they pick up on how you speak about same gender loving folks. They pick up how you speak about trans folks. And like, that could be your kid. And what are you going to do? Like, queer people don't just like matriculaze out of thin air. Like, they were queer kids at once a point in time. And so I think parents need to start treating and acting. And that's what I said about, like, stop assuming your kid's gender, stop assuming heterosexuality, like, stop assuming all of these norm things that have been pushed down your throat as, like, quote unquote right, because you don't know. And you don't know what your kid is going to be. And like, your kid needs to know that you love them and accept them for whoever they choose to be in life, or, yeah. So I think my thing is, like, the onus is not on the kid. Like, kid,
No, it's
perfect.
not.
You are awesome. You are good the way you are. Parents, like, y'all got to step up and do better and be better, because I get so many questions of like, well, what if, Jaden tells you that he's gay? I'm like, okay, like, I have a thing in my house, like, just as long as you are not a conservative Republican, and I'm sorry for anybody on here who is, but just as long as you are not a conservative Republican, we're good.
That part.
Now, you
that
come out
part.
to me and say you are a conservative Republican, you have to leave my house.
Oh, that is too funny. To answer your question, Chize, in the way my dog understands Igbo. My dog is an Igbo dog, and she understands Igbo. Yes, the house is Igbo. My kids understand Igbo. They speak Igbo. I speak Igbo. And my dog understands Igbo. Thank you so much. That's a good question. You're listening. They didn't stand in the "I want to be queer" line. I love
Exactly.
that. So powerful. The guests are listening, and that is so. So for me, it's affirming. Okay, because every now and again, like at 12:30 every day, I ask myself, is my guest gonna come? Am I wasting my time? Like, is this even? Why am I even doing this? Like,
Yeah.
even as I'm gonna tell you, even as I have been invited, I'm just telling you this because you're married to tell you, I was invited to be interviewed by Gail King on Monday. So next Monday, I'm gonna be on Gail King show about the work that I do in the queer space about my child. So even at that, even with that kind of recognition coming my way, I'm still like, oh, I want to scream from the chandelier or whatever, So, but I like what you said about being able to find your tribe. I keep going back there because enough children jump because they can't see past today and tomorrow because of all the trauma that they're going through. So, and I don't blame them because life is so, and yes, I said that. I don't blame them because life is so toxic and so triggering. It is truly toxic and triggering. So some people really, truly cannot see past tomorrow. And they don't understand that the parent who's supposed to love them the most is the number one person who betrays them. And I did that to my child. I took my child to my friend who is a pastor to pray for them. So I'm not sitting here telling you about, oh, I was perfect. No, I wasn't.
Yeah.
But when you know better, wait a minute though. When you know better, you must do better.
Exactly.
And that's what I'm doing. I'm not coming here as the mother who was, listen, no, And if you
Yeah,
show me a perfect parent, I'll show you a freaking liar.
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Yes, because Lord knows, whew, I am far from perfect. My son could tell you some stories. But yeah, but like the bottom line is like you love your kid, and I always say like I love my kid. I am obsessed with my kid, and so the thought of me contributing like intentionally and knowingly anything to cause him like
Well,
hurt and pain
good.
and suffering, like I could not. Like I don't understand like these parents like that kick their kids out and like don't worry about like what happens to them and like don't like never want to hear from them again. Like you gave birth to that. That was a part of you. And it's just like how could you not, you know, how could you not? Like
Yes.
it's like you said, like it's not about us. It's not about, you know, what we want, what, you know, we desire, what we hope. And I think like for a lot of parents, it is letting go. It is letting go of like that idealized version that you've been fed, that, you know, what society puts on us, like as far as getting married, having kids, living like a cis het normal life. It is letting go of that. And for some parents that's hard, but like, you know, I would rather have like a happy out queer child that's here alive than like one that is dead any day. And I know that has been said to death, but it's true, you know?
I love it. I'm writing it down because and I've said this before on this show, that my next book is literally called "It's Not About You," the
Yeah,
ABCD of positively raising. Like it's in your face. It's not about you, and it's not
exactly.
and it's not because it's not because I was necessarily that perfect parent, but it's because now I know better. And
Yeah,
I'm having to, at 52 years young, as a queenager, I'm having to now unlearn everything that I learned.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
having to unlearn. So you know what? I'm going to ask everyone who's watching to do me a favor. Oh, Jamie, thank you. I read that. Jamie, thank you so much. Jamie, you're going to be the next guest I'm going to have on the show in the group. So I want you to do me a favor, just to have fun. I know it's not about you already. And then the subtitle is, it's about your rainbow unicorn child and how to positively raise them. It's a very long subtitle, but what do y'all think about that name, about that name for the book? And then while you're thinking about that, so tell us, I know you said that what the child should do. So in the last 12 minutes, tell us what the parents should do. I know you already alluded to it already as you've been
Yeah,
talking, but yeah.
yeah. You know, pretty much like everything that I said, like let it go. Like sometimes like letting go, that doesn't have to be like a negative thing. It doesn't have to be a sad thing. And like I get that like you have to grieve and mourn, but like if you think about it, like the person that you were raising, and I think like specifically with trans folks, that was never them. So like if your son was transitioning to you know, her true gender or their true gender, like you never had that ideal. You were raising an idea. So like letting that idea
Oh,
of what your child, what you wanted for your child or who you thought your child was, you know, I think that that is the first step. And just thinking
that
about
is
like
so. Can
letting,
you just say that again for those at the back? You were
I
raising an
probably fumbled
idea.
it.
Oh, no, 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 that's okay. So stop raising. No, I love it. Stop raising an idea.
Yeah.
You're raising
Yeah.
an idea. Stop taking
Yeah.
over the agenda. I like to say stop hijacking the agenda, but stop
Yeah.
raising an idea. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, this is so powerful. I need you in my group, please. This is powerful information. Stop
Yeah.
raising an idea in your head. Let go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let
And like,
go.
I say that specifically for myself, you know, like I said, my son like doesn't identify as trans or anything, but just like in other areas of his life, like of parents, we have like all of these ridiculous high expectations of, you know, what we want our kids to be and like this idea of like who our kids are going to be when they turn out and like when it's something completely different. It is devastating. It is devastating. And it can be devastating, but you know, allowing your child to like fully walk into who they are and be who they are and like you get to be a part of that journey, like that, like just that like does something, and like that is fantastic and that is beautiful. And I think, you know, instead of looking at like what you lost, look at like everything that you are gaining. You are gaining this like deeper relationship, this deeper bond.
Stop looking at it as if you're losing a child. Look at the child you're gaining. Okay, so you're not going to have a daughter-in-law, but you get to gain a son-in-law. So what?
Yes.
Let me tell you something from someone who is cisgendered and has been through a divorce from a heterosexual relationship. It doesn't always work out. Just because just because you want your child to marry a heterosexual, doesn't mean that the marriage is going to work out. Just because you want a Nigerian, if you're a Nigerian and you have a child, listen to me. Your child does not have to go to medical school to show you that they're smart, okay?
Exactly.
Your child can do whatever and be happy. Doctors in America have the highest rate of suicide.
Yes.
So don't tell me anything about the job.
Yeah.
Okay? Your child's happiness is paramount.
It is.
My God.
It is. And I think like adults forget that, like, because like I was saying, like, it's not about them. Like, you're grown, you lived your life, so let them babies live their lives. And I think especially for Black people, like, there is so much stacked up against us already in this country. Why would you add to that? As your child's parents, like, you should be the refuge. You should be where they turn to, and like, you know, like, you got to get over that shit, frankly, and just love your child.
Somebody type that down for me. That was too good. Somebody type it out. You got to get over that shit. Yes, my show is all-encompassing. Lexicon is open, honey. I make up words. I let you make up your own words. Oh, you got to get over that shit. Somebody write that down for me so I can pin it, honey. And you're getting so much love. Chizelu rather says, I'm going to pin that. Stop raising an idea. And then Jamie said that was brilliant. I'm not sure what. Najite said it was awesome. I'm not sure what. But you're getting so much love today. But you know,
everyone.
Every good thing has to come to an end.
Yes.
So I have an interview in 7 minutes with a radio station that want me to have my own radio show, honey. So
yes, ma'am.
Yes, honey. You're going to be, listen, you're going to be, let me tell you something. Anyone who is a guest, and I'm saying it out now, I don't know what they want from me, but anyone who is a guest on this show is going to be a guest on my national, soon to be syndicated, haven't even recorded one session radio show. Because I'll be the only one in that space talking about what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
So bring it.
We take it over. Yes.
We're gonna be syndicated, honey.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. And Chizelu, I don't know if she like said you gotta get over that shit. Yes, let me pin that one. So yeah. But Chizelu, you're in Nigeria. I don't know if you see me on NTA every Friday morning. I'm usually there talking about youth suicide on the diaspora show. I guess they do. Okay, they're giving me the heart. So, I mean, when people see you blow up, sometimes they think you just started, you know. But I've been doing this here thing for over 2 years now, working in the youth suicide prevention arena, which is why I'm doing this show, because I know that if the parents can get the message, the kids will not kill themselves. They won't be homeless. They will not. You don't have to believe me, though. That's the thing. You don't have to believe me. But eventually, I know I'm right. And so the guest I had yesterday. Yeah, the guest no, not you, sweetie. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about not you.
Overall, you. Yeah.
I'm talking about my guest. The guest I had yesterday was talking about how she was homeless for most of her 20s. Today, she's written so many books. She's a poet, lyrical word, spoken word, whatever artist, all of these things. But she was put on all kinds of medicines because they thought she was depressed. But yes, she was, but it's because her mother would beat the out of her.
Yeah, yeah.
So why don't we peel the layers and find out what really is at the bottom? Chemical imbalance is maybe 0.1% of people.
Yeah.
I mean,
exactly. Trauma is a big, you know.
Trauma, ACEs, trauma, ACEs, trauma, ACEs. But yeah, so hi, Kwavi. So we are in the home stretch. So the last 5 minutes, sis, tell the viewers where they can find you.
Yeah.
And let me see where they can find you. And please tell everyone, I know I'm kind of putting you on the spot. Will you be my guest next week on my group?
I will be your guest next week on your group.
Yes!
Yes.
Yes! Because if you are, then you can come on the radio show.
Yeah.
Yes! All right. So welcome, Kwavi.
Yes.
Welcome, Boom MD. So tell us where they can find you so I can let you go, my darling.
Yes. So yeah, you can, I don't have any like professional social media yet. So I am leaving my group practice within a couple of months, and I will be starting like my own social. So my practice will be called Melanin Sex Therapy. And so
yes! We can find you with that name, with a name like that. Melanin Sex Therapy. I wish you were here, I don't know, a year ago in my life, but you know what? God doesn't make mistakes. We met when we're supposed to meet. So my future relationships, the sex is going to be pow, pow, pow.
Yes, I will get you right. I will get you right. Yes. So when I get my professional Instagram up and coming, follow me at Melanin Sex Therapy, and then my Facebook page, Melanin Sex Therapy Facebook page. So yeah, and those are in.
It's going to happen. And just imagine all the clients. You know, and my sister, Coach Kwavi, is listening. Just imagine all the people waiting for you to help them. Yeah. And just imagine the number of humans. And I don't know if you've discovered the two word put together called Clubhouse.
Yes.
If you get on there, honey, they're going to eat you up because there are people out there looking for Afro-freaking-mation. So it's going to happen. So my name is Dr. Lulu, a.k.a. the MOMATRICIAN. Show is over. The show is called, she said, that's right. The show is called The Pride Corner. I have to keep reminding myself because I always want to say the Queer Corner. I was going to call it the Queer Corner, but there was like too many quiz. So I said the Pride Corner. So the show is called The Pride Corner. I am the host. My name is Dr. Lulu. My guest today is awesome. She's an affirming, licensed clinical social
professional counselor.
Therapist, that one.
Sex therapist.
And she works with queer people in the queer space. And she came here to tell you that there is love out there. There's relationships out there. And you too can have that relationship that you need. My name is Dr. Lulu.